Oh, man. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, boy. Sun's come out at night. Oh, good morning. Today is going to be a interesting day. Going through all these requirements and different courses for this firearm instructor school. I think right now I'm going to go a little bit into my live stream later on, but I'm still going to talk my shit. This is a bit more informal than the formal show later on. I got a statement to start off to guys like a Mary Brown. See, a lot of people forget that he came from Cynthia G's camp first. He was aligning with her years ago before he got thoroughly thrashed on BGS's Coliseum years ago. And I'm getting really, really tired of a lot of these Negroes trying to pander to women, saying that men were the ones who ruined the relationships in the black community when the statistics, the data, and everything else shows otherwise. I'm getting tired of a lot of dudes who obviously, and I mean fucking obviously, know that when these dudes come over to this space trying to sell their rhetoric, they leave with their asses handed to them. See, him and Chaos, which I'm going to address tonight as well, posted this video about this young dumb cat who says, well, women in their 20s ain't trying to mess with nobody, no older men, which we all know is a fucking lie. It's not like none of us went to high school and noticed how women were fucking with guys who were significantly older than them. Why? Why? Because women typically like older men. Why? They want a man that's more experienced. They want a man with more money. Women don't like dating men, especially when they're in their prime of their life, from 14 to like what, 30. Do you know how many female police officers, female firefighters, and female military personnel mess with dudes who are older and higher ranking? Doesn't take a genius to find out. But see, when you actually talk to a 19, 20-year old, they will tell you about the treatment they received from their mothers, from the girls in their class. It doesn't mean they weren't fucking them. Let's get that shit out the way. Does not mean they weren't fucking them. They just knew where the bullshit was spewed. And for them to listen to that one video to say, oh, these old guys are giving bad advice. But y'all same young motherfuckers, talking to you, Hammer, want to be looking for either blow up dolls or the artificial womb to think it's gonna save you from yourself. What's also disturbing, might add you, is this. A lot of brothers out there don't even understand what it means to actually be lusted over, to actually be loved, to actually to be taken care. Because guess what? Let's talk some real good shit, okay? A lot of these guys out here want to talk about that it's the men who's making all these women single mothers. It's not. A single mother makes the decision herself. When you have 33 different types of contraceptives, the choice is yours, Captain Planet. But we have a problem because we having a lot of people who are getting real questionable in these parts. But you know what? A lot of people getting real questionable. And see, the disrespect of the older male only exists in the black community. I want you to remember that. Disrespect of the black male, of the older black male, only exists in the black community. And you wonder why there's no wisdom being passed down, is because you still hold tight to whatever your fucking mother told you. How you need to be a nice guy to give women. I've told women this before. Every time you talk about their ex-husband or their child's father, they're going to typically try to call him an asshole. So at some point in your logical mind, you got to think that assholes are going to get what? Ladies. You really think that men are not quick on a draw? You really think that men don't understand where they sit in life? Come the fuck on, seriously. You getting all these little channels trying to placate the women. I keep telling y'all, stop the bullshit. Stop allowing these motherfuckers to dictate to us. This is the reason why you support black male media. Because women are not above supporting something that talks a damn good show, especially if it acquits them of all crimes and sins and iniquities. He's talking about my wife, she cooks and she does that. She's supposed to. That ain't special. What really fucked up is that majority of women don't cook. They can't cook. Yes, I'm talking to you, Amiri. And please, Chaos, if you listened, forward it to that motherfucker. What the fuck is a black man supposed to get? Your ass to kiss? Can't cook, can't clean, but you still want that motherfucking ring, don't you? Remind me of lesbians who dress like the dudes, the little studs, but eventually they can't overtake their nature. I don't care how they're nurtured. That woman wants a very masculine man and a very hard phallus. And even if she goes back to those stud ways, she's going to like a dick that she's going to hide from people because it's always dealing with the image. Okay? It's the image. You're right, AB. Cardi was seen with a broom in her goddamn hand, and she's a multi-millionaire and married. But nobody wants to talk about. And I'm listening to him while I'm driving an hour away to this training facility after I was listening to BGS, and I'm thinking to myself, yo, Mary just said, well, brothers want to talk about the Bible and try to use the Bible. But then 15 minutes later, he quotes the damn Bible talking about he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. That's the point of Mary. These bitches ain't wives. We have a problem, man. We have a problem. A lot of brothers out there, y'all need to really, y'all really need to support channels. Because at the end of the day, these women are going to prop up dudes like that. At the end of the day, them broads are going to put out fucking first dollar. And you know what's real shameful? You got black men who ain't even going to say shit. It's amazing how he literally tried to come at BGS twice and literally, how much ass do you have, Mary? Because it's being chopped off the fucking block. Every man thinks he's a patriarch till he gets in front of a judge. I can easily prove to you with just one statement that black men and black women live in two totally different worlds. Do black women have a fear of calling the police? And I notice with a lot of these modern day guys who want to, oh, I'm married, don't run shit in their households. They talk a big game, but when you really examine that shit, their wife will nag the fuck out of them. I was wondering when D Darrell was coming back. What happened? You finally took a dush? Your wife let you come out and play? What, she had you a punishment? What happened, yo? What, work everybody's last nerve? Who said I needed a wife? See, my masculinity is not dependent on what female I have or what female I marry. My masculinity depends on the things I've accomplished and the wars I'm willing to fight. See, a guy like you need a wife. You know why? Because you had to get on the first thing that was smoking. I'm a man who has options. And even after 20 years, I still have them. I can go older and I damn sure could go younger. Unlike you. Who said I'm miserable? I'm going to tell you the one true thing about men that even your dumbass can't even debunk. Men accomplish shit the most when they're single. Duh. How the fuck you supposed to get things done when you're fucking worrying about a wife? And see, here's the craziness about it. Women don't want to grow with you. They want a finished product. See, I could actually be a total and complete fucking asshole and I could get any woman I want. See, you have to play nice. You have to play fair. I can show my whole black ass and tell women the same shit that I say on my channel, and I still have them lusting for me. You have to play little Dutch boy and go get that fucking bucket of water from the well and play nice, and maybe she might give you her number while she's sucking my dick. That's the difference. I don't see too many men to say, hey, do this marriage shit. Because quite frankly, even women say we're not wives. How the hell do women want relationships if they're going to fuck you with little or no requirements? They're willing to have babies over marriage. They are willing to have babies over. I mean, for God's sakes, if one more motherfucker misread the Monahan report, I feel like punching a motherfucker right in their chin. Only our group of women, when you give men the jobs, they still chose the welfare. Y'all don't want to talk about that shit. Who said I'm an incel? If you know one thing about Charles L. Faulkner Jr., I am the complete antithesis of an incel. As a matter of fact, Negroid, I get more on accident than you ever got in your life on purpose. I've probably been with more women in 1 week than you've been in your whole life. It's not probably, it's true. See, when I get married, if I ever choose to get married, even though I still say it's not looking good for marriage for men. If I ever chose to get married, guess what I'm going to do? I will actually find something with a woman that I actually like. It's not going to just be sexual. She's going to have a fucking logical brain somewhere in there. See, for marriage to work, it must have purpose. Somebody put that in the chat. For marriage to work, it must have purpose. When you give people no duty, no honor, no integrity, why the fuck get married? It's very hard for me to take a fucking single mother by her word and think she's trustworthy when you can't even settle down with the nigga you had babies by. And I'm going back to Amiri. A lot of the guys I've coached in wrestling are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 who graduated high school. I had to go school one of them to get custody of his daughter. And that's without a lawyer. That's just having a good conversation. You're right, AB. Prove that I'm an incel. Even on my worst day, I could get more ass than toilet seats and James Bond. It's like I told my homeboy, I never had to be popular. My actions speak for themselves. He would always joke, well, you wrestled. Who cared about wrestling? That told you how good of an athlete I was. I was at a high school, Lake Clifton Eastern, which was known nationally for basketball, but people knew me for winning championships multiple times. See, this is the reason why I say men are not human beings. We're human doings. You can say I'm an asshole, but guess what? I have a legacy. You got to put champion behind that. That's why we're human doings. And see, I got married for my wife's protection if something were to happen to me. Okay, I understand that. That makes logical sense. If you've been together and y'all get along well, and you raising kids, duh. That's what I'm talking about. Make it make fucking sense. Exactly, double C. Marriage must have purpose because you're going to have to offer ladies a ton load for men to even want to engage with you other than sexual pleasure. Because unfortunately, your sisters in feminism has made the world a very darker place for men to even believe you. Let's look at this incel thing real quick, right? Y'all remember that second live stream I did after Kevin Samuels was passing? And I had 3 to 4 women on my channel on the panel, and we were having a great conversation for 2.5 hours. An incel is incapable of talking to women. They're socially awkward. See, this incel word is like calling a man a bitch. You're trying to invoke emotion from a person who does not sway one way or another. You must understand this very clearly. You calling me an incel is like calling Michael Phelps. It's like stating to Michael Phelps he can't swim. No sense does it ever make. You're right, BGS. It's a white boy word. Don't forget the Cash App and the Super Chat. Your boy taking time out of his busy schedule. I'm one of those guys who walked into threesomes by accident, okay? And I'm not even bragging. I swear to everything I'm not bragging and I'm not making this shit up. Even all the corny dad jokes that I make, like I had to tell my homeboy in front of everybody, I don't care how many corny jokes I make. Did it ever hurt my pussy count? No, never really did. I can retire right now and I will still be put in the Hall of Fame. I've been giving MVP numbers for like the last 20 years. Fuck out of here with that shit. Only motherfuckers who wish they could continue to run. I'm going to tell you how many times, BGS, on your platform, I've shown the different women that I'm with. An incel can't do that. Incel can't do that. They're incapable. See, where we have a problem is that we don't like to tell the truth. We like this half truth shit. That's feminine. Okay? That's real feminine. Men tell the truth regardless of how that truth will benefit him or not. There's many of things I don't like. Many of things I don't like. But guess what happens? I got to take it in stride. I got to be a man about it. I got to accept the things I cannot change and change the things I cannot accept. Everybody, have you ever noticed there's an abundance of black men who want to debunk the CDC and the Census Bureau when it comes to black men being more involved, living with more, and being the best damn fathers in America? I tell you, when does America want to give up an L to white men? About white men, actually. But see, when you're stuck in this gynocentric mindset that mama knows best, my wife knows best, that's the issue. You can't break away and correct your mother's fucking teachings. And I do have to say this when Amiri gave this example of his 19-year-old daughter. Let your daughter's 19. I don't know how she looks, but guess what? She's working. She wants a six-figure job. You do know, and have you ever taken the time to tell your daughter that the higher she goes in pay scale, the less options she gets? That works total opposite for men. The higher we go in pay scale, the more options we have. So you can be a six-figure woman and men will walk past you. Trust me. Does not have a goddamn a goddamn line of men wanting to sleep for her because of her beauty. It's just not going to happen. Shout out to Volcanus and shout out to Kareem as well. See, what we really fail to realize are these self-truth evidence that's being held is that you're teaching your daughter how to be a modern woman, and she's going to be the exact type of woman 20 years from now who calls a show like a Kevin Samuels. I was focused on getting the money instead of getting the best possible man. See, let's tell the truth. There's a lot of black fathers out there who damn their fucking daughters to loneliness. You curse them. You put these modern iniquities on their backs, and they have to pay for the sins of the father. Shout out to Black Uber, long time no see. Anytime I hear a black man refer to another black man as an incel, I'm suspicious of his sexuality because that's really a bitch-made thing to do. Well, when you're talking about guys like D. Durrell, they got more bitch in their system than a goddamn dog kettle. See, I'm going to say this again. There's a lot of black fathers who actually are the accomplices to the destruction of the black fucking society of not telling their daughters the fucking truth. You got a finite window to find the best possible man you can, or you're damn near going to be fucking sheltered into loneliness. Shout out to Electrician. And what gets me pissed off is that this abundance of men like him, well, you're going to go out there and tell your daughter, go make this money, instead of telling her the proper thing. Go get a good man while you make this money. You never hear these fathers say, hey, you see that nice boy right there who's in the engineering field in college? Yeah, you might want to go have a chat with him. Oh, you see that nice, handsome young man right there who's an ROTC? In 4 years, he has a guaranteed job as a commissioned officer. You need to go talk to him. You need to lock that shit down because once he gets commissioned, he's gonna have options. Make yourself the only one. You don't hear that. You don't hear that shit at all. I'm starting to believe, and I hate just saying believe, I'm starting to really hypothesize that a gynocentric father may even be worse than a fucking gynocentric mother. Black Guru said, go help a young black man get that money. Facts. See, I'm going to say it again. Too many bitches want a fucking finished product. Too many. We want to set our daughters up, but niggas like Shaq want to say the boys got to leave. But then you want to see why the boys can't make it. For all you comic book fans, you might have heard of this guy called Bruce Wayne, aka the Batman. Bruce Wayne believed in masculinity so much when he saw a child named Dick Grayson, when his parents were killed from a sabotage trapeze wire, it took a man like Bruce Wayne to take him in. I want you to follow me for a second. You feel me? It took a man like Bruce Wayne to take him in and take him under his wing and become his ward, meaning Dick Grayson, if something ever happened to Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson will be his heir. Okay? Dick Grayson did not leave Wayne Manor until he was old enough, fit enough, smart enough, diligent enough, cunning enough, tactical enough to strike out on his own as Nightwing. Thank you for the cash apps. So when we wonder why the black male is lacking when he comes into his young adult years, it's because nobody fucking cultivated him. But yet, we literally got men out here who tell their daughters to get men they can control. First and foremost, I gotta say this to Shaq, who to me is one of the bigger simps ever. First and foremost, your daughters ain't beauty queens. Sorry. Not, I don't. They might be good people, but they're not going to be on anybody's cover, modeling anytime soon. So you need to tell them the truth, especially if you have a woman who's taller than 5'7", 5'8", maybe 5'10". But if you have exceptionally tall women, they tend not to get picked by men, so they're going to have a much harder time getting a man. So that means those ladies are going to have to be extra feminine because that height makes them extra manly. They're fighting at a deficit. I know some of y'all right now like, but Elsa Faulkner, that's so mean. No, I had to tell my niece this. She wanted to leave her then fiance. I said, look, shorty, you got 3 kids. How many men are going to want to take care of that? And those are the type of men that you probably really didn't want in the first place. So you need to stay where you are. But of course, this modern woman can't tell them shit. And then they looking at me, one day we having a nice candid conversation, and she's like, you know what, I should have stayed with him. This is the reason why I keep telling you that men are human doings. We're always graded by what we do. And most times we could accomplish a lot, and we're never thanked. We're never thought about. And even Toya, as lovely as she is, because she's a very attractive lady, she told her story where she had to lose weight, get in shape, watch what she ate, and look at it. She got herself a dude. She got herself a dude without question. That was easy. Okay. See, the main problem with America is that American or westernized women and men don't want to see the truth anymore. You want to chastise men for giving good advice, saying, you know what, protect your seed. You're mad at guys like BGS for telling young men, save yourself. Shout out to J Will 28. Shaq wants that daughter wife dynamic. If his daughter controls her man, then he also controls said man because Shaq controls his daughter. Facts. I'm gonna tell you one thing I had to tell a lot of mothers and some fathers who I had relationships with, their daughters. I'm like, that person doesn't need to come in our business. You telling your mother every goddamn thing that goes on with us, tell your mother get a fucking man. Why your mother didn't keep with your father? Or why don't your father worry about his wife instead of his daughter? Here's the hypocrisy of it all. Here's the hypocrisy of it all. You got Marcus Love. That's true. I'm 6'1". I prefer my women between 5'1" and 5'6". Currently, though, my Kenyan woman is 5'4". Tall men don't like tall women. And see, and maybe you're right. I've seen it all the time. Women, single, what did Kevin always say? Single women keep women single. The more and more we have these guys come out here and say, these old men don't know what they're talking about, where oh where in any other culture do we just throw out the information that older men bring? BGS and Black Uber are the same age as my mother. Okay. I think BGS might have Black Uber about 2 years, but BGS is definitely the same age as my mother. So BGS had to be born at what, 59? Okay. There's wisdom that comes from older black men that you'll get from nowhere else because they see the world in a completely different lens, even from their women. And when you disregard the wisdom of black men, sage black men, accomplished black men, give me one fucking reason we should listen to a guy like Amiri. Because for the longest time, you were like the fence sitter. You went wherever the wind blows. One point, you were co-signing Cynthia G till we sent you back. And by the way, I wish somebody could find it. BGS, if you're still there, I pray to God we could find that one video when Cynthia G came on your Coliseum. That was the same time when Amiri first came over there, the same night. And he brought her back over there. And I asked her one question. What's the opposite of a beta male coon? See, the difference between the Black Manosphere And a lot of these other manospheres will actually tell you what a good woman is. Very descriptively. We'll actually tell you the type of women we're looking for. Last time I checked, not one man said I wanted a slave. I've always heard cooperative. I've always heard submissive. Always heard fit, friendly, feminine, supportive, loving, caring. I never heard that she had to have a PhD in quantum physics. I never heard that she had to make six figures. I really think that a lot of these women out here in our community don't even give a fuck what the men think. They think we should take you as we are. See, let's tell the truth. And I need to save some of this shit for the show later. And salute because we got over 110 people watching early in the morning, right? I'm gonna say this. A lot of black men devalue themselves for their women. And I get on them very harshly because of that. You too funny, Uber. You too funny. Now, the reason why, AB, we should listen to a man like that is to know your enemy and treat them accordingly, as they say in military science. See, the only reason the gynocracy is propped up the way it is because of men. Men. And when you actually call these men out and say, yo, stop this simp shit immediately, cease and desist orders need to be given out. Because quite frankly, when you're not honest, I'm 5'10 and I'm taller than every woman I've dated. That's why you never go by what women say, you go by what they do. Thank you. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, donate. You getting this early morning flavor. Don't tell me I'm gonna get 100 people plus. If I gotta wake up early in the morning to get it, I'll do it. Early in the morning, in the middle of the day, baby. I'm just looking at this whole shit, and you're trying to like just totally disregard men like Black Uber, BGS, Art New Style, and others who are older black men with sage wisdom, men who've been married once or twice, men who either their kids are getting married or their kids have kids. And you're going to say they don't matter? First and foremost, that little incel that they played on their channel who said, well, women don't date in their 20s, don't date men over 30. Huh? You know what I mean? I want to show you how ballsy I am. The majority of women who are in their fucking 20s are fucking 40-year-old men. I've had conversations over the phone and over the internet with Kevin Samuels. He didn't date anything that was over, what, 35, maybe 30. There's a lot of women who go out there and will have a baby by a 50-year-old man. And y'all forget, a black man who keeps himself up in shape does not look his age. I had to constantly remind people while in fucking firearms instructor school that I'm probably twice the age of some of the people here almost. I think it's amazing. I think it's, you know what? Shout out to Grinch for this idea because a long time ago, we used to post pictures in the Discord or the email of the chicks you dated. And I bet you 9 out of 10, these motherfuckers who call guys like me and Mr. Z incels, I bet you they wouldn't even fucking post their wives. Because I have a true understanding of knowing what a fucking incel is. And that ain't me. But anytime you fucking talk honestly about women, and particularly black women, you gotta be gay or in shield. You gotta be gay or in shield. You can't have an honest opinion. Hell, you can't even bring factual evidence that black women destroyed the family. See, you gotta understand this. The most conservative motherfucker in the fucking world is probably, well, actually in the United States is probably a black man. It was black women who particularly co-signed this homosexuality shit. It wasn't black men. Black men, we didn't care if you were homosexual. We were like, hey, if that's your life, do you, man, do you. Don't try to pull us into it. It was black women who got gay best friends. Once in a while, you might see dudes hang with a lesbian or a stud, whatever they call themselves, but it's very rare. It's funny how they'll go to nail shops and hair shops with men doing their hair and men co-signing what the fuck they. How the fuck you gonna have somebody who's diametrically opposed to you and saying on BET that it takes gay men to teach black women how to be feminine? That's how you know you're losing. That's how you know you're losing. Yeah. Most guys who are incels can't even attract women. They can't go up to women. There's times I'm in the market and women are drooling over me. That doesn't make me any more of a man. What makes me a man is what I've done, what I'm currently doing, or what I will do. Okay? So I'm looking forward to tonight, and y'all should really tune in tonight because we're gonna address some shit. And I have a usual problem when you have people who are giving you information and facts that you can't even find in college, and you're just gonna dismiss their information and say, "Oh, we're just a bunch of grumpy, bitter old men." I say it's kind of the opposite. Hey, thanks, Marcus. He said, "Tell him the truth." Woo! I think it's quite the opposite. I think the men who are honest about relationships, honest about the dating and mating of the current world, are the people who are really looking out for the young men. I think that I think that's where they don't want to really say what it is, man. The people who are older who really give a fuck about young men, they're the ones who give a fuck about the future. Because those are the ones that tell you pick if you're going to be married and you're going to play the game, pick wisely. Or they're going to tell you, you know what, bro, Go get you a wife from the Caribbean. Go get you a wife from Africa. Don't pick a woman from the Western world. Or if you do pick a woman from the Western world, pick wisely. Pick wisely. What's wrong from a black older man telling black younger men to pick wisely? Pick a black woman outside your culture. What's wrong with that? Exactly, Jackie. Exactly. That's a grown ass black woman who just co signed what the hell I just said. Most women in nature are going to pick more stable men. Does it mean they won't fuck guys their age? No. But if they're gonna settle down or be in a relationship with a man, they typically pick older. Hell, they'll chase the older motherfuckers. High school, anybody? See, a culture fails when it rejects the wisdom of its seasoned men. Put that in the chat. The culture fails when it rejects the wisdom of their seasoned men. I don't care that I'm 40 and some young punk might, oh, you old now. Yeah, nigga, but you better fear the old man in a profession where the good die young. He's old for a reason. See, a lot of black men don't realize this. That black man who's in his 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, he's already lived past his life expectancy. He's old for a reason. And I'm really getting sick and tired of a bunch of dudes trying to pander to women for likes, for money, and subscribers and viewership. Tell the fucking truth sometime. If I had a daughter, would I love her the same as my son? Yes. Treat her like raise her to be a proper and productive and caring and loving human being. But you have to be honest with your daughters and say, you don't have the options that men have. Your options come sooner than ours. Most men start really becoming the man that they are at 30, 35. You need to start teaching your daughters to find a guy with great ambition and he's on his way working. You can see the progress step by step, hour by hour, day by day. You need to link up with him and form up like Voltron and build with him. But no, you want to build this boss bitch mentality. Every boss bitch I know is a lonely motherfucker. But don't worry, your boy ain't done tonight. Let me go up in here and take this instructor course. We building, man. We building. I want to see 100. Matter of fact, let's get 230 people viewing tonight because tonight is going to be a special night because you're going to hear your boy do a play-by-play of what Amiri was saying a few days ago when I was listening in the dark realm. Woo! K-Ron S said, woo! They want the older man to pass on the intergenerational acts of weakness and not the intergenerational lessons of strength, wisdom, and discipline. Facts. I'm gonna tell you, I want y'all to tune in tonight because I'm gonna do a play-by-play of that video that kind of disturbed me and listening to him trying to shit on people. When BGS goes out of his way to give you literally college level information and knowledge, reading various studies from E. Franklin Frazier to Monahan and others, Yeesh, we better protect him at all costs. Whoa! Thank you for everybody listening. Come in here tonight. We're gonna rock. Be safe.